The fetishization of black masculinity. Once created, where does this market appeal for black men lead? Jason Osamende Okundeye explores the dangers of the fetishization of black masculinity. Published October 13th, 2020. Protest signs often provide the best insights into the creative political imaginations of marginalized people. They can indicate the kind of world we want to build, and they can loudly name ideologies we want to reject. But signs held by white allies at the Black Lives Matter protest in June included the following: I love black dick, so you will hear me speak. Stop shooting black men, I want mixed babies. And BBC, Big Black Cock Matters. All went viral on social media, and incredibly, many white people couldn't comprehend what seemed obvious: that orienting the value of black lives around their sexual desires is not only degrading, but also dangerous. The slogans on these protest signs fall under what we call the fetishization of black masculinity. This is how white people objectify black men as more masculine and sexually potent than our white counterparts. It claims that there is an inherent biology to our blackness that makes us more muscular, more dominant, more athletic. The size of our penises are obsessed over and apparently betray our monstrosity. In 2017, Fox News invited O.J. Simpson's former prison officer to detail how OJ's massive junk made him feel inadequate. The suggestion being that there is a relationship between OJ's big dick and his violent actions. In 2017, the Chocolate City UK tour, which offered a night of lap dances, stripping, and other erotic entertainment from hot black male Adonis dancers, came under fire from black feminists who rightly denounced the performances as grossly cashing in on a specialty market for consuming black men's bodies, a niche market made possible by the fact the country is only 3% black. And once created, where does this market appeal for black men lead? In bizarre, desperate acts from white women wanting to access us. In 2017, for instance, it was reported that a white female prison officer in Lancashire was caught with a syringe containing the semen of a black inmate because she wanted a chocolate baby. But the problem of fetishizing black masculinity goes beyond being treated as a walking black dildo by overzealous white people. Perhaps if white allies knew their history, they would reconsider their signs. The over-sexualization of black masculinity has historically led to intense surveillance and intervention over our bodies. Going back to the 19th century, the English Victorian eugenicist Francis Galton would make pseudoscientific claims that there were savages with anatomical differences between black and white men, such as penis and pelvis size, so white men were morally superior to black men because they were more sexually controlled. Alright, control of black men's sexuality was used as a solution to prevent white settlers' fear of black peril. Black men in Britain were therefore seen as major threats to public health, with castration even being recommended as a method of preventative treatment to protect the safety and sexual dignity of white citizens. What does this pseudoscientific view of black men's bodies and sexual capacities have to do with anti-black police violence today? Because this need to control the sexuality of black men through physical violence has been a long-term solution to what is termed black peril. The colonial era fear white settlers had that black and native men would have sexual relations with white women. In the colonized British New Guinea, black peril led to the White Women's Protection Ordinance of 1926, which introduced the death penalty for the rape or attempted rape of a European female by a native person. This criminalized interracial sex between black men and white women. Interracial sex was viewed as a violation independent of the concept of consent. Naturally, this standard didn't apply to white male colonizers who were free to rape black and native women as their right. In the late 20th century Britain, white feminist movements often complied with racist ideas that black men present a more significant sexual threat to them than white men. As Valerie Amos and Pratibha Parmar claim in Challenging Imperial Feminism, Reclaim the Night marches, which demanded that women be able to move through public spaces at night, would predominantly march through black inner city areas. This played into the hand of the racist media and fascist organizations such as the National Front, some of whom immediately formed vigilante groups patrolling the streets, protecting innocent white women by beating up black men. And the fetishization of black masculinity has also positioned white men as our sexual rivals, which has ultimately culminated in the kind of anti-black violence we have faced from police officers and so-called vigilantes. Liam Neeson's confession in 2019 that he sought to kill a black man after his friend was raped drew parallels with the white men who murdered 14-year-old Emmett Till just 65 years ago. Again, presenting black men as aggressive sexual rivals encourages white men to seek sexual revenge. How much you enjoy sex with black men isn't a call to action. In fact, white allies should interrogate how their sensationalizing of our apparent sexual prowess has been historically used to justify state and vigilante violence against us. The history of racism is also a history of sexuality. That's the end of the article. Everything that I've been speaking about, how black men are viewed all across the world, very poignantly pointed out here in this opinion article from GQ. This thing is widespread. Black men are viewed pretty much negatively across the world or fetishized. I don't believe fetishization is a positive thing. Believing somebody has qualities based on their race is not a good thing. So please stop it. Thank you for watching.